Hi everyone! Welcome
Hiya.
to our area training. So a bit of music for everybody. I feel like I'm about to do like a fitness video because my hair's up in a ponytail. I'm like ready to go do some exercise. I'm not, by the way. Definitely not doing that. I'm really sorry for anybody that saw me post my area training and was announcing it at 7 p.m. Thank you, Stacey, for telling me 2 minutes before 7 p.m. that I'd got the wrong time. It's actually 7:30. So I'm really sorry about that. I went back on all my posts and I was like, thank you, Stacey. Okay, so tonight we have some incredible speakers. And they're going to share some of their training and some of their tips. They've put together some great information for us. And I think looking at the agenda, we might actually finish a little bit ahead of schedule tonight as well. So that might be pretty good. Normally, we're renowned for running over. I don't think that's going to happen tonight. So I'm just going to share my screen. Then we can get started. Okay, so welcome to our area training September 2016. So the agenda for the night is we're going to kickstart with District Manager Jane Brown. Then we're going to go on to our gorgeous London lass, District Manager Stacey Blackley. An extra E there. You might as well be though. The amount of people that you're helping, Stacey, you're like And we've got brand new Executive District Manager, whoop whoop, Danni Cowie. Whoop, whoop. A brand new E baby, yeah. Love it. And then, asked to be right at the end, we've got independent consultant Claire Rousel-Smith, who said, do you want to put me at the end? Because I just talk and talk and talk. I was like, yeah, okay. So this is our agenda for the evening. And then, of course, you've got your host, which is myself, RVP, soon to be MVP, Danni Wells. Yay! Thanks, Danni Cowie, for the clap. Okay, so first up, let's just check. We've actually got Jane on the line. Jane, are you there?
I am here.
Oh good. Before I start introducing you. Okay, so let me introduce you then, Jane. So our first speaker of the night is our gorgeous 2015 Spirit of Arbonne, our absolutely wonderful Jane Brown. Now, Jane's been in the business with me since the beginning, and she's well known for calling us dumb and dumber. I love that. Because half the time we don't even know what we're doing, but we know we're just like, let's just see what happens anyway. So we have such a good laugh. And Jane is well known in the team for bringing in so much positivity. She's always thinking about what can we do to make this work? What can we do to make this better? She's always looking to add value to other people. And she's literally like the greatest, like fairy godmother of the team, like links everybody in and puts on different events for everybody and social events. And Jane is just truly she is the Spirit of Arbonne. She is absolutely wonderful. So I am so pleased to say that Jane's training tonight is titled Waste Time, Waste Life. So welcome, Jane Brown.
Hello everybody, thank you very much Danni for that wonderful introduction. Oh, just turn my light a bit, I look a bit ghosty.
Let's try that. Gorgeous. Sexy mama.
I've literally like been cleaning all day, so I'm just like anyway, thank you very much for having me on the call. My name is Jane Brown and I'm a district manager with Arbonne International. Absolutely loving my journey so far and lots more to come. So I'll get straight on with the training. So I'm just going to share my screen. Okay, so as Danni said, I'm going to talk about time tonight and how we waste so much of it in our life. How many times do we say, literally, where does the time go? It just flies by. So the definition of time is the indefinite continued progress. I'm just going to shrink this box a minute, that's better because I can't see the words. The indefinite continued progress of existence and events in the past, present and future regarded as a whole. So we are literally existing in time. Sorry, I keep losing my mouse. There we go. We want to make the most of our time, and we want to make it as productive as possible and as enjoyable and as memorable as possible, but for all the right reasons, because time goes so fast. So let's just pretend that we have 3 lives left. What are we going to do with those 3 lives, and how are we going to make the most of them? So what we don't want to do is live in the past. By living in the past, all we do is worry about it. We worry about events that happened years, months, weeks, and even days ago. And women, and I'm not sure how many men are on this call tonight, I think there's only Danny Cowie. Women have this amazing ability to be able to remember every point from any argument for literally like the last 20 years, and we will have great pleasure in pointing that out.
Yeah, we do.
We've got a great memory for past events. But what do we gain from this? Absolutely nothing. It is a waste of our time, a waste of our energy, and likely to cause more stress and worry, which equals more lost time. So I'm afraid that's 1 life lost. So what else do we worry about? We worry about the future. So something else that we can't control. Even if you went to see Madame Marjorie with her glass ball, who looks into it and tells you that everything's going to be perfect, you will travel, you will have a new relationship, you will come into a fortune. None of that can be foretold. It's not happened yet. And worrying and stressing about what will be is draining. It's draining the life that is happening right this second out of you. You're again wasting time, and that equals, again, a wasted life. Another life wasted. So we've literally got 1 life left. So how are we going to use it? By living in the present, which is the best place to be. This is where the action is happening and where the party is at. Live life for the moment, right here, right now. Look around you and take in just what you have in this moment. You've got breath in your lungs, food in your tummies, you've got a roof over your head. And that is what is important. It's not important thinking, will I make this deadline? Or I messed up, I didn't make that deadline. Soon you will be dead. So draw the line and start living for now before it's too late.
Bit morbid, Jane.
But it's true. Make the most of life while it's here. So let's turn this to our business, where time for us is money. So we all want to reach that next promotion level so that we can have all those things that are on our vision board that we have spent so much time thinking about and planning, saying to ourselves, when I get to area, I'll be able to do this. Or when I get to VP, I can do that and I can help so-and-so. Stop wasting time thinking about it. Or if you really, really must, then get up and do the miracle morning and use that time to think about it and visualize it and work to make it happen instead. We know what we have to do, the skills we need to put to use that we have spent a long time learning, but are we actually doing them? So they're just some of the skills that we all know what we have to learn: prospecting, one-to-ones, products, and launches and parties. Are we wasting too much time? How many hours a day do we waste Facebook scrolling, all the notifications and messages, and you think, oh, I'll just have a look at that because I might have missed something. Don't worry if you've missed some of them. You can't possibly keep up with all those notifications from all your different media apps all day long. You just waste so much time. If something is really, really important, there will be somebody that will share that or pass it on to you if it really needs to be. Do you waste time making your office space look pretty? Yes, make it organised and functional, but how much time do you waste designing pretty charts, quotes and planners that you stick up on your wall and just never use? Get one good wall planner, a good diary, a pinboard, and you're all set. Have an organised office, not a busy, cluttered office that just looks pretty but is not functional. And don't be a Ryman's shopper. So to keep us, to help us, we already have a system in place, which is what we spent all of that time learning the skills to do. Because something else you will find yourself doing is searching for something else, another system to make your business more successful. So if your business, you feel to yourself, is not quite going to plan, it's easy to start thinking this system is not working. There must be a better way. There must be out there that I can be doing. So I wondered what others are out there doing themselves. Let me get on Google and have a look. You have just lost your last life. You can enter all the MLMs and NM tips you want, but at the end of the day, it is all there right at your feet.
Are we dead now?
Yeah, that's it. It's done. It's too late. You have just missed all these fantastic trainers because you're all dead from wasting too much time. We have the best training and system we could ever want. We have world-class speakers right there in front of us. We are so lucky. We do not need to waste time on Google searching for tips and tricks. This leads to a never-ending journey of constantly searching and never achieving. So are you ready to hear how to make the most of your precious time to thrive in this business, to reach that much-deserved promotion level? Okay, let me share with you.
We're ready.
Are you ready? You ready? You ready for this? It's big. Stick to the system. Stick to it, learn it, duplicate it. Simples. Don't waste time and complicate this. Life is complicated enough. And I just wanted to finish off very quickly with just a couple of little paragraphs out of Eat That Frog, which, if you've not read it, is all about time and how to make the most of it and take on those tasks that you've been putting to the side for so long. So you can get control of your time and your life only by changing the way you think, work and deal with the never-ending river of responsibilities that flows over you each day. You can get control of your tasks and activities only to the degree that you stop doing some things and start spending more time on the few activities that can really make a difference in your life. Simply put, some people are doing better than others. And I think we do find this in this business. You look at other people who are succeeding and moving forward and you think, why am I not getting there? Why am I not doing well? It's just that they do things differently and they do the right things right. Successful, happy, prosperous people use their time far better than the average person. And there's just one more. I'll just read this one. It's a bit of a long one, but then I'll finish. So this is a wonderful time to be alive. There have never been more possibilities and opportunities for you to achieve more of your goals than exist today. As perhaps never before in human history, you are actually drowning in options. In fact, there are so many good things that you can do that your ability to decide among them may be the critical detriment of what you accomplish in life. If you are like most people today, you are overwhelmed with too much to do and too little time. As you struggle to get caught up, new tasks and responsibilities just keep rolling in like waves over the ocean. Because of this, you will never be able to do everything you have to do. You will never be caught up. You will always be behind in some of your tasks and responsibilities, and probably in many of them. For this reason, and perhaps more than ever before, your ability to select your most important task at each moment and then to get started on that task and to get it both done quickly and well will probably have most of an impact on your success than any other quality or skill you can develop. An average person who develops the habit of setting clear priorities and getting important tasks completed quickly will run circles around a genius who talks a lot and makes wonderful plans but who gets very little done. And when I read this book, I actually put a little note under the bottom there saying stop faffing. So there we go, that's the end of my training, so I hope it's been okay.
Well done, Jane Brown.
Thank you.
Jane, that was fantastic.
Thank you.
That was really, really good. good. And do you know what? It was really funny as well, because I could tell that a lot of the time you were talking from personal experience.
Yeah, definitely. I used to waste so much time like organising papers and buying silly things and Facebook scrolling. I used to waste so much time doing that. So,
Yeah.
I mean, I probably miss, because Andy will come home and say, oh, did you see my post on Facebook? And I'm like, I probably didn't, because I just don't do it anymore.
Yeah.
I just ignore it. I have to.
Yeah. And I think it was really important what you said about how there is so much going on with social media, and especially within our team, because our team is so big and because we're connected with so many side teams, we all have to appreciate that everybody owns their own business and runs it differently. So there is going to be a lot of information shared, and half of it is not going to be useful to you. So you kind of just have to just accept that, yes, you're probably going to click into Facebook and there's going to be 50 things that have been posted, but only probably 5 of them are going to be useful to you, and not get frazzled about, oh, I didn't watch that, because I can speak from personal experience. I cannot physically take note of every single notification, because I'm in that many team pages, I'm involved with that many things to do with Arbonne. I just have to accept and let go that I can only do a tiny portion of it, and if something's really, really important, it's going to be shared that many times that we're not going to miss it, like the flash fires and things.
Yeah, definitely. And I think that was something else I was going to say, actually, all the different, because Lucy, one of my ladies, was saying to me the other week, can we just stick to one way of doing things? And I said, well, the system is the system and the skills you learn. I said, all the other things like the 9 in 90, the IPAs, I said, they're all voluntary, and you choose what you want to do. You don't have to do them all, but they're there to help you if you want, and you choose what suits you best.
Yeah, that's good advice, and I would definitely recommend that to everybody. And when I sponsor people, I say to them, you've got to remember that you're working alongside a lot of people that work their business differently. Some people love parties, some people love one-to-one, some people network online, some people network at business events, and all these different things. You just need to just have a look at what resonates with you, and then build from that, and just ignore everything else.
Yeah.
So, great advice there, Jane. Right, okay, so let me share my screen, and then we'll go on to our next speaker. So next up, we have got the wonderful Stacey Blackley. So we all know Stacey. I met Stacey online at the end of last year, and she started her business on the 1st of January this year. So brand new year, and decided to start her business. Stacey is a full-time busy mom. She homeschools. She's got 3 wonderful children, and Wyatt is about to turn 2 tomorrow, her baby. Stacey has started her business and caused ripple effects throughout the whole of Arbonne. Everybody comes up to her like, Stacey Blackley, like, what is she doing? I'm like, do you know what? And I honestly say this, and I'm sure Stacey will agree. People say to me, what is Stacey doing? What's the secret? And I said, do you know what Stacey does? She doesn't do anything else different to what anybody else can do. She just does more of it. She does more reading, more listening, more networking. She does everything that anybody has got the same ability to do. She just does a million times more of it. Would you agree, Stacey? Oh God, we've got another Jane. Stacey, are you on the call? Oh, there she is.
I'm here. I didn't realise I was on mute. Sorry, guys.
Oh, would you agree with that?
Yeah, definitely.
Okay, so I'm going to introduce our very, very gorgeous, very kind, giving, one of the most giving people I've ever met in my entire life. So selfless in every single way. District Manager Stacey Blackley.
Oh, my eyes won't leave her. I go head over heels.
Thank you.
Thanks
very much.
You look gorgeous, Stacey.
Well, I just had to quickly put some makeup on. I thought, oh my God, I'm training. Let me get my Arbonne out.
Yeah, Natalie will be telling you off.
Yeah. So I just want to say a massive thank you to Jane. It makes a lot of sense about the wasting time, so much so, and about worrying about the past. So an example of that for me was White's party yesterday. And then I was in bed all night last night thinking, oh my God, we could have done this. Oh my God, I could have done that. Why am I worried about something I can't even change? It's already happened. So I kept saying to myself, it doesn't matter. It's gone. Why are you still worried about it? Then I'd wake up again thinking, oh, but I could have done this. So then, therefore, I didn't sleep last night. So I'm exhausted over something that has already happened. So thank you very much, Jane. That was very apt for me right this moment.
It's not like you to worry,
I just want to talk. I know. I don't know. I don't know what it is. I had a little bit of craziness. It happens sometimes.
It's because your baby is about to turn 2.
Yeah, I think that's what it is. I'm just like, the anxiety of thinking, he's going to be 2 and soon enough he's not going to need his mum no more. He's going to be going to preschool, and I'm just like,
He's a little boy tomorrow.
I know. It's gone so fast. And talking about time, like Jane was, that 2 years, I can remember the exact moment my waters broke. I can remember the exact moment that I was in labour. I can remember every detail, and yet it feels like yesterday, yet he's 2. I mean, right now, 2 years ago, I was in labour. He was born at 9 minutes past midnight.
Oh, wow.
That's how it was tomorrow. So right now, 2 years ago, yeah, it's just crazy. So anyway, that just goes to show how quick time does go by. So tonight I'm going to be talking about the 4 mental enemies of success. And basically, number 1 is rejection. Everyone has got a fear of rejection. Everyone doesn't want to be rejected, and it's the fear of no. But you know what? So many trainings out there telling us to go for no. At least we're going to at least get out there and do it. Don't let somebody's opinion of you become your reality, basically. And don't let somebody's opinion who doesn't have the lifestyle you have, who doesn't have what you want, who doesn't dream, is not living the dream. So why are you worrying about their opinion? We know what we've got in our hands. We know the opportunity that we've got. So all we've got to do is share it. So that used to be a huge problem for me. I used to always worry what other people think. And I think a lot of that come down to my weight, my appearance, because before I started up, when I was a size 18 to 20, I was a lot heavier. I was very unhappy. I was very depressed, bit of a hermit. So I feel like it's a bit of a cliche, but I feel like it saved me. I feel like this is not the business I was looking for. This has been a personal development course with a business attached to it. So, and we're not here to convince people. We're not here to tell people, this is what you've got to do. It's going to change your life. You need to do it. If you don't do it, that's it. You might as well give up now. There's no point. At the end of the day, not everyone is going to get it. Not everyone, most people won't even participate in their own rescue. And this is a really sad thing. And, my dad, he's so poorly still. And that's why I started my business. But yet he's continuing to do the same thing over and over again and expecting things to change, expecting to get better. I just had this conversation with my mum this morning, and he's not getting better because he's continuously doing the same things. And the doctors don't have anything else they can do. They just give him medication to try and ease the pain. The pain's not getting any better. He's got chronic pancreatitis for you guys that don't know. And he's living with chronic pain the whole time. So, but I said to my mum, if the doctors are not helping him, why not try something different? Look down the natural path, find something else, try marijuana, whatever. Just do something different. If my dad really wants to get better, and I love my dad to pieces, and it breaks my heart seeing him the way he is, but he needs to change. Like I said,
this is being recorded. Can you just make a quick disclaimer that you're not promoting marijuana to all the kids?
No, I'm not. Sorry. I'm not. It's just one of those things. Sorry. It's just something that just can't come off. That isn't even written in my notes. Sorry about that. I'm not promoting marijuana at all.
You will have the best team on our backs.
Anyway. Where was I? So yeah, people don't participate, most people, in their own rescue, but at the end of the day, we can't make them feel bad for that. So me going to my dad going, Dad, you're not helping yourself. What's the matter with you? That's not going to make him feel better. That's not going to, definitely herbal tea. Go for the herbal tea. That's not going to, it's not going to help you either. So if you're looking at the business and you're telling people, wow, this is the best thing, if you don't do it, you might as well give up. The thing is, you're closing that door for good. You need to keep the door open. It might not be right for them now, and you might need to show them a bit more proof. You might, they just might need to be drip fed the information, and then go back to them in 30 to 60 to 90 days, and then things for you might have changed in where you are in the business. You might have grown, So you might have more to show them, more to tell them, you know, more proof, more belief. Some people need that before they decide to make this, you know, and to make the decision for Arbonne. But to be honest, we are quite rare people. We go against the grain. We're not natural. Everybody on this call is absolutely incredible because they want to change their lives. They want to change the lives of other people. We don't want to work for other people. We just want to get on. We are, you know, we are, as far as I'm concerned, we are world changers because we want more for other people than we want for ourselves. And there's not many people out there that want that. So all we've got to do is increase our exposure. It's a numbers game. So, and the cure for everything within network marketing is activity. Get into activity and self-development. That's definitely the cure too. So there's two things for that. Self-development, because if you don't do that and you don't believe, you're not going to get into the activity to start with. And simple disciplines that compound over time. We have a system, as Jane said, and we just need to follow it. There's steps in place for us to follow that. And don't look for the results right at the beginning. We're going to be putting in way more effort than we're going to get paid for to begin with. But eventually, we'll then be getting paid way more than we're going to put the effort in, if that makes sense. So, you know, if it's hard, we're going to have an easy life. If you want an easy life, it's going to be, if you're going to want the easy ways, it's going to be a hard life. The second enemy is deception. People are going to lie to you. People are going to say to you, yeah, I'm coming to training. You're going to be on the phone to them like in the morning or maybe an hour before. Yeah, I'm definitely coming. Yeah, and you're like, it's 8:05 and they're still not here. They're not a circle. They're just not coming. So you just need to get over that. It's really hard. And right at the beginning, I used to really let it get to me thinking, oh my God, these people ain't coming. Who else have I got to talk to? Do you know what? At the end of the day, if you're going to be a serious business builder, you need to be talking to and introducing the business to 2 to 4 people every single day. I try to do that. I'm not there yet, but I try to do it. I'm probably doing about 1 or 2 a day. And not everyone is going to be jumping on board for products or the business. Some people just want to know more, and it's about building friendships. And do you know what? That's what I love about this. I've had the most support I've got are from the people within Arbonne than the people that I already knew, which is amazing. So Arbonne's given me so much more than a business. Like I said, self-development, friendships. I just feel incredibly lucky to have met Danni and to be given this opportunity, and I'm so glad that I took it with both hands and just jumped in.
We're all glad that we met you, Stacey.
Love you guys. And we'll say to people, okay, we'll be doing the Eric Foray, and we're going, okay, so if I send you a video, will you watch it? And they'll go, yeah. And okay, so when would you be able to do that? Monday at 10, or when are you free? And they go, yeah, Monday at 10's fine. I go, great. So if I phone you Monday at 8 p.m, and just to find out how you got on, you'll be up for that. Yeah. So then I ring them up and I go, hi, it's Stacey, how are you? Yeah. How did you get on with the video? Oh, I didn't watch it. This happened and that happened. And okay, that's fine. So if I was to say, this is after you've had a bit of a conversation, obviously you don't just go, have you watched the video? You've got to build that friendship up. And just say to them, or when would you be able to watch it? The thing is, the more you keep going on like that, just and Eric Foray goes on about getting the time frames and being really straight. Some people won't ever watch it. I've had that. I've had some people, when I first started, a friend called Johnny, and he said to me, yeah, I'll watch it. And he still hasn't watched it, but it's okay. He keeps messaging me and he's like, hi, how are you doing? I'm so glad for you. So that's cool. But you know what? It's fine. You just have to accept people for where they are. And another instance of people not wanting to, or deception, or whatever you want to call it, is people that give you samples to, people that I've given gold bag drops to. And one that I knew for sure that she hadn't tried it. And I gave her an extra few days to try it as well. This was the RE9, and she goes, it just didn't work for me. I just didn't like it. And she went, no, it's no good. And then when I opened up the products, they hadn't been used because it was my first ever gold bag. So that was quite funny. But you know what? It's fine. But most people have a a job, which is just over broke. And basically they go to work to get paid, just enough to cover their bills, sometimes not even that. And then they do just enough work to not get fired, just so they can have enough money to possibly pay some of their bills. What is the point in that? I don't understand that. So, and I've been like that from a very young age. I used to work 2 or 3 jobs from the ages of 15, because my main thing is the more money I had, the more I could help people, even from then. So, you know, I'd be able to help my mum, I'd be able to help my friends, but I hated working for other people. I hated having that tie to somebody else. And that hit me even more when I had my first son, who's 12, when I was training to be a manager within Mothercare. And it was just like, hold on a minute, I have to go back to work. I missed his crawling, I missed his first tooth, his grandma found it. You know, and then at 15 months I said, you know what, I can't do this no more. So luckily my husband, you know, supported us. It was tough. We didn't have much of anything. We were budgeted everything down to the last morsel of food that we were buying from the shops. It was ridiculous. And a lot of times we'd go to Paul's mum's for dinner just because we didn't have enough money to buy food. But I couldn't not miss anymore. And then I started up my own cake business, and that's how I started generating some income. So it was about finding stuff that would work around my family, so I could be with them. So that's always been on my mind. So yeah, Arbonne for me is just amazing. Number 3 is apathy. So basically, lack of interest, lack of concern, and just about people that, like I said before, it's a numbers game. So it's about how many people, some people at the top of network marketing have actually spoken to thousands and thousands. And I mean, I can't even begin to imagine how many people Danni's spoken to regarding the business, and how many people that Danni's sponsored. You know, I'm sure there's hundreds, but there's only maybe a few that have actually stuck it out.
I've sponsored 40 people, and I've probably spoke to about 800 people.
Wow, you see what I mean? It's a numbers game. And at the end of the day, you know, there's another guy that did a lot of this training, and he said he'd actually sponsored the last 5 years of network marketing. He'd sponsored 400 consultants, and only 100 of those went on to do anything. So 300 of them done nothing. And it's about finding the eagles within the pigeons out there, the people that really want to do it. And at the end of the day, you can't make people do what they don't want to do. You can't, you know, at the beginning, before, because I went into area qual, and then most of the guys on my team just stopped working. But I think it's because I pushed them, not because I wanted the promotion, but because I wanted it for them more than they wanted it for themselves. But apparently it came across that I actually wanted it for me. Well, that wasn't the case. And I said to them, that really wasn't the case. You know, this business has got so much to offer, but if they can't see that, I can't make them see that. And obviously that's a lesson I've learned. So now I'm starting again, I'm building my team again, which is great, you know. And I just had to go back to those people and say to them, I'm sorry, you know, that's the way it come across. That really wasn't my intention. My intention has been from the start is to get it to share Arbonne and the opportunity and how much it's changed my life in a short space of time. Not massively monetary value, no, but I've gained so much more than that. So much more value than monetary value at the moment. So yeah, you know, and it's about dreaming big, and you know, it is hard. But it's as hard as you make it. We need to get out of our comfort zone to grow. And, you know, we're going to grow right at the edge of our comfort zone. And that's really tough. Some people, you know, for me, it's really tough. That I felt so, you know, uncomfortable. But so many people are like, okay, so I've sponsored 8 people. You know, why am I not regional vice president? Well, you need to talk to a lot more people and sponsor a lot more people to find the eagles in the business that really want to go and fly, you know? So that's what it's about, and it's about leadership as well. Like I said before, I had to improve my leadership skills, because it was coming across that I was pushing for my own promotion, when in fact I wanted it more for the guys on my team, and they wanted it for themselves, which is fine. you know. But another thing that I've noticed is the first 72 hours of anyone's business is the most important. We need to be able to teach them how to have a conversation. We need to teach them how to introduce the business, how to introduce the products, because they have they're so excited about the opportunity, but they've got the belief, but they haven't got the proof, you know. So, or the other way around, you know what I mean? So when people come into them and say, okay, what is this? And they're like, well, I don't know. And they're like, well, you sure you should be doing it? Is it a pyramid scheme? And a lot of, you know, and at the end of the day, this is why people get stuck, because if you treat them like a newborn baby right from the beginning, give them everything they need for the first 72 hours, obviously the first 30 days, we're going to be giving them our time, but the first 72 hours, because they're going to be so hyped up and so excited, but they have the words to express to the people that they want to express it to teach them how to have a conversation, a one-to-one, you know, the business, the products, the DAs, etc., you know, and get them the immediate results that they're looking for, even if we're, you know, helping them make the phone calls to introduce people to come to a launch, making the phone calls and getting people to come to DAs for them and stuff like that, because they don't have the wording. I know I didn't, and Danny helped me out a lot with that. Some people are not willing to be coachable, so we just have to let that go. There's not much we can do about that. We can only do what we can do with people that are willing to be coachable. And we're going to have to step out of our comfort zone to grow, like I said before. The fourth enemy is attrition. Basically, attrition is the process of reducing something's strength or effectiveness through sorry about that. Can't even read my own writing. Through attack or pressure, sorry. And basically what that means is standing the test of time. So being here long before or long after even people have come and gone. So I know that I'm an Arbonne lifer, and I know you guys are too, and we're here for the long haul. We know that this works. We know that it's for us. We know we're very passionate about this, but it's about having a bigger why. That's what I learned at AAC, making my why as big as possible. So basically we get out of bed in the morning. It's about mind over mattress. And at the moment when I'm sleep deprived with a baby, sometimes that's tough. I don't want to get out of my bed. I'm tired. But I know if I stay in my bed, I'm not growing as a person. My business is not growing. And I'm not only that, I'm not helping other people to grow. And ultimately that's what I want to do. I want to change so much, and I want to help so many people, and I can't do that by sleeping. I can't do that by laying in my bed. Hold on, I think that. Oh, basically, yeah. And the last little bit. Sorry, I know I ramble a lot. Basically, it's a business. So once it's a numbers game, then it becomes a business of relationships. So your mentors become your friends, and that's what's happened with Danni. You know, I won't just call her regarding Arbonne if I'm feeling a little bit blur, not too great. Same with Natalie Crawford, same with Jane. There's a lot of guys that I'll go, do you know what, I'm not feeling too good. Sometimes I try and keep it to myself, because at the end of the day I'm spreading negativity, and I've learned that a lot, especially of late. So I just try and turn it around, but because I've read the breakthrough experience, and it's changed so much for me. You know, about what we put out there, our thoughts, our feelings lead to our actions, and the more we talk about it, the more we're feeling that way. So we just need to, you know, think of why has this happened, the lessons we're learning from it, the blessings, etc. So it's not only that we're going to have a detox with the 30 days, we need to have a detox with the people within our lives, the negativity. So, and a lot of people, when you're building friendships with the guys on your teams, you know, your downline, when you build that friendship, a lot of people quit on the opportunity, but a lot of people won't quit on a friendship, which is really nice. And I found that with a couple of the guys, and I love them dearly. They're absolutely amazing, and they want it, you know, they want to do it because they want to do it for me, rather than for themselves, which is bizarre. And I'm like, no, you need to do this for yourself. But because we've built that friendship, and they've seen, you know how far I've come and how much I've changed, and so it's really quite nice. You just need to get the biggest why. I don't know if you guys had any questions, because I didn't get to look at the chat because I was rambling a bit. So if you've got any questions, then that's fine. Someone said about my favourite book. I think so far it's got to be The Breakthrough Experience. It's just blown me away. To me, it's completely changed my mind in so many ways. If the things that have happened to me, with the 3 kids, you guys probably know that with the Thomas and his autism, his ADHD, Sophia with her heart condition and her ADHD and a lesser form of autism, Wyatt when he was born, now he's got really bad eczema at the moment. And do you know what? Everything that's happened for a reason. I'm constantly learning and changing as a person, and I wouldn't want to be any other person than I am right now. So thank you very much, everyone, and I hope this helped.
Thank you, Stacey.
Oh, but my eyes won't leave her. I go head over heels, Rosina, my cheerleader.
That was amazing. So I've just got a couple of points. So things that I wrote down while you were delivering that awesome training, and most of the chat, I'm sure you'll be able to read it in a second, was just everybody saying what an ENVP you are and what an incredible human being you are. And you absolutely are, you nutter.
I was crapping my pants with that bloody training.
Okay, so one of the things that I wrote down, what you said really early on, was about the simple disciplines and how you said about daily habits. And I just wanted to say, I absolutely agree with you. And I just wanted to say that a lot of people it's almost like they're on autopilot, drifting through life. I certainly was. I'm not judging. I definitely was. And I felt like life controlled me. And the reason why I felt that life controlled me and I didn't control life was because I wasn't doing anything to control my life. It was all about just drifting and almost like I was like intoxicated, what happens or what happens, life is life. And it's not. And I found that since I started doing things that I can control, like when I get up, how I get up, meditation, gratitude, affirmations, the little tiny things that I can control, as I've started to do them, I've seen a difference in how I control my life now. And when I don't do these little tiny habits each day, life controls me because I'm not in control of life, because I've allowed it to control me. So when I take control and I do these daily habits, I control life. And I notice that when people complain that their business isn't growing or they're not growing, I'm like, okay, let's get down to the nitty gritty. What are you doing in your day that you can physically control? And I'm like, are you reading? And they're like, no. I'm like, okay, are you listening to audios? And they're like, no, I haven't got any time. I'm like, okay, are you getting up early and like doing your miracle morning affirmations? Like, no, I don't like mornings. I'm like, okay, I understand what you're saying, but you're allowing life to control you because you are not taking control of the small things that you can control.
Yeah, so you're so good at putting in the right words in the right way. You just put it out there where people, like what I'm trying to say, you've just summed it all up.
Yeah, but that's what I got from your training. That's why I wrote it down, and that's exactly what you said. That's how I heard it.
Oh, cool.
I also wrote down that when you said that the first 72 hours of anyone's business I just thought that was perfect, because you're so right. You're in such an exciting mode. And that's why I've messaged a few people today, Stacey included, and a few other people, to ask them to do a recording of themselves on their phone or their laptop of how to invite somebody to something, like how to invite somebody to their brand new business launch, how to invite somebody to a one-to-one, how to invite somebody to a party. Because I believe that what Stacey said was correct, that the first few days of somebody starting their business is crucial. You don't need to tell them about host rewards. You don't need to tell them about flash buys and all that. It doesn't matter. All you need to do is get them to invite people to get in front of them and their sponsor or whoever's coaching them, so that they can start to see the proof in the pudding. So I love that, Stacey. And I also wrote down that the growing the relationships is key, because most people spend most of their week working, like whether it's their main job or their art job, whatever it is, most of their week is spent working. So most people want to spend their working hours working alongside people that they absolutely get so much joy and energy of being around. I cannot begin to tell everybody how much I love the fact that I'm going to be going on holiday 4 or 5 times every year until the day I die. Well, according to Jane's training, I'm already dead, but until the day I die, with everybody on this call and their family, like Ruth and her family, and James and Stacey and Jane and CJ and Haley, all of these people I get to do life with. And that for me kicks me up the bum when I'm having a day where I think, oh God, this is challenging today. Being my own boss is challenging, which it is. I'm like, would it be easier if I just went back to the opticians and worked for somebody else? Yeah, it would be easier. Of course it would be. But would it be worth it? Hell no. This is so much better than that. So definitely, the relationships is a big thing for me, and I think for a lot of people. So that was all I wanted to say. Did anyone else want to say anything about Stacey's training?
It was absolutely awesome. I really, really mean that. Stacey, you really, really talk with conviction. Everything rolls off the tongue really, really good. And you just really talk from the heart. You know, everything is really just you, you know, and that's what shines through, and everybody can see that. So absolutely fantastic.
Oh, thank you. Thank you, Danny. That means a lot.
Oh, you're welcome.
Right, okay, right. So we'll move on to our next trainer. Let me see if I can share screen. Stacey, is this showing you?
Yeah.
Great. Okay, so after that, those two fabulous trainings. Danny's got a bar that has been set high with Jane and Stacey. So next up, this boy, Danny boy, has been at my house this weekend causing havoc and mayhem. So we were having my 30th birthday celebrations on Saturday night. You know, there's quite a lot of drink involved and laughter and mayhem. Danny was in the house hoovering up.
You've got to do it.
He was like, I can't cope with this. The kids have got Chris everywhere. I'm like, just leave it, it's fine. Come and have some Prosecco. He's like, no, I can't cope with this. So we all love Danny Cowie. He's obviously growing a phenomenal business. And I can speak on behalf of everybody on this call right now, and I know everybody will agree. We are so delighted that you popped out. You gave birth to a district this month. New district manager Kelly Atkinson down in London in Twickenham building her business. Danny Cowie popped out a district and got his first ever E. So yes, I'm so excited, so excited. So Danny is training tonight on the 6 actions needed to be a top leader.
Wow. Wow. Awesome. I'm really, really excited about this. I'm like, oh, awesome. So yeah, I am doing my talk on 6 actions needed. One second.
Oh, Hayley's right. Are you a square? Are you a square, Danny?
Definitely. I think he is.
Has it gone? I think
Where is he?
He's like, Hayley, you've upset him. He's gone, hasn't he?
He was trying to screen share, whether he's pressed himself off, I think.
Is that a square trait? Oh my God. Do you think he's coming back? I've probably upset him about the hoovering comment. All right, let's see if he comes back then.
Oh,
We thought you'd stormed off in a huff.
what a faff. I tried to share my screen and it didn't do it. I was like, oh my God.
You didn't press end meeting by accident.
No, I didn't end meeting. I was trying to share my screen and it wouldn't do it.
Do you want to try it again?
Yeah, I've just done share screen. 1 minute. It's not sharing. 1 minute.
That it started.
It's already started.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's done it. It's done it.
Yeah.
Can you see it?
Yeah.
I can't see it on mine.
We can see the Zoom. Is
Oh.
the screen Zoom?
Yeah, it says your meeting should start in a few seconds. Click on another window, no?
What
No,
do you
when-
want to get up? A PowerPoint?
Yes.
Okay, yeah, open your PowerPoint and we should be able to see it.
1 minute.
All right, we've got all night.
Don't worry. I've got all night as well.
While you're doing it.
1 minute. Give me 1 minute. 1 minute. 1 minute. Oh, nothing like, a little bit of pressure or anything like that.
It's all good.
coming
You
up,
got it.
it's
You got it
coming.
going on, Danny. I wouldn't worry about it.
Oh, I'm not worrying about it.
Oh.
It's
Have we got
probably
it?
he gave birth to a district. He hasn't had time for anything else.
Right. So can you see everything? Actions need to be a top leader.
Yeah.
Cool.
Danny, how
Yeah.
much time have we just wasted there, really? We're all dead now.
Have I just lost 2 lives now? Okay, right. So my training tonight is actions to be a top leader within Arbon. So I just want to start this off with you are enough. You are enough, right? So everything inside you to become a great running your Arbon business, right? We have it here. We have a business of Arbon. So we all have different obstacles, but the actions we need to execute them to be a top leader with Arbon are all the same. We all have the same trainings. We have the skills. So all these skills that we have within Arbon are learnable. So if you want to be an EMVP, you already have your keys to the success. It's just about finding them keys. So they're out there somewhere, but it's just about learning these skills out to go and find your keys. So leaders are future focused. So inside your brain, you have the power to a great, fantastic Arbon business, and you have to stare into reality and say, this is what I want. So don't worry about the past. So you can look at Jane's training and say, don't worry about the past, look at the future. So obviously a lot of the MVPs out there are obviously future focused. They can see what they want out of life. So my first point is make a plan. So it's really, really simple. So the plan is basically that they're all doable. So what we need to do is plan for this, and these will produce results. So it's really, really, really easy. So all you need to do is basically, like what Stacey said, share Arbon. That is as simple as it is. Share Arbon. So within one-to-ones, Zooms, DAs, recommending the products, or even the business opportunity. So that's a real big thing. So beyond everything I've just said there, the business always comes first, because if you're going to share the business first, you can have another slice of the pie with the products. So you've got to have a balanced business with this. So you need to have a balanced business of independent consultants and preferred clients. So like I say, share it all over, with your friends, family, work on your cold market. So you need to keep this balanced. So they always say to have a good business is to have a balanced business. So work-life balance is a lie, basically. So it doesn't really work. They say you've got to try this and try that. If you're balancing your life, it's not really good. You want to be out of balance. So nothing happens in the middle. So success happens on the extremes. So this is where the magic happens, basically. So if you think about it, they say 80% of what you want to do on your list only moves you 20% forward. So if you go and work on the 20%, this is where it's going to move you the 80% forward. So you need to work on that 20% and move that to the max. So that's what's going to propel you that 80% forward. So, be out of balance. Love to be uncomfortable. This is where the magic happens. They say within Arbon, you've really got to be outside your comfort zone. This is where the magic happens. I love this. I really, really do. So, this is where the self-development comes in, to be the bigger person, to go out there and share Arbon, share the love. So my next one here is to have a creative action. So visions are the art of seeing what is invisible to others. So we all know with what we've got with Arbon, we've got a fantastic business. We've got amazing products, but because it's not on the market stalls, you can't see it advertised. We are the advertisement. It's an invisible business. The only way people are going to see Arbon is if we share the products, we share the business. People can see the cars. So this creative action is basically like a law of attraction. So it's basically what you think about, what you bring about. So action is to daydream. Action is a daydream, and see your future in your mind's eye. So feel the excitement and the gratitude of what you want to become in reality. So I know within Arbon myself, I saw this not straight away. My wife was obviously, she was the entrepreneurial, type. I was just kind of the guy that just sort of like sat back and, let her get on with a few things, but I was listening in the background. So she saw it before me, but I could see what she was doing on the sideline and not really knowing exactly what she was doing. So she really got this. She had that vision. you know. So the vision is the art of seeing what people, you know, want to see. So leaders see solutions. So, you know, people have problems, but the actual true leaders see the actual solutions through the problems. So leaders ask questions. How can they solve things? How can they make it work for things that have gone wrong? Leaders look for patterns. So like we say in this business, it's an easy system to follow. You know, we're not reinventing the wheel. You know, we're just basically turning over. We're doing exactly what they're doing. You know, it's copycat. You know, the best copycat wins. So like I said, the leaders look for patterns, and a pattern is a reoccurring thing in your business or a behavior. So look to spot what doesn't work within your business and stop doing it. If it doesn't work, try and look for other ways to actually work around it. You know, we're all like, you know, Danny was saying about, if you're really good at doing, you know, one-to-ones or business launches or parties, you know, look to see what works for you. You know, we've all got the same business. However, we work to our strengths. You know, so if we're doing something that's not making us move forward, try something else. You know, we're all doing the same system, but things work for different people. Everything that goes wrong, which is feedback, you know, this is like a lesson. So, you know, they say fail forward. So we need to make mistakes to grow as a person, you know. So when we do our business, we do make mistakes, which is completely normal. So if you get them no's, take it on the chin. You know, that's a part of the learning process. So what I want to say here as well is, when you see that problem solution, I heard this at AAC from Hetty Gifford. If you had a coin and I showed you this coin and it said, I said to you, what can you see? I know that I can see a heads, but you can see a tails. And you're saying to me, I can see tails, but I say I can see a head. You know, at this business, we've got to look at both sides, you know. That's just the way it is. You know, we've always got to sort of like look through the, you know, the confrontations, everything like that, and work with that, you know, because this is what makes you grow as a person. So just be creative with your vision. You know, look to see what, you know, is working for you and what isn't. So my third one, is the art of communication is the language of leadership. So like what Stacey was saying before, you know, how can Danni sort of like breathe these words, you know, that I've just basically said? You know, she's really told that in so easy terms. You know, it's about how we say things. You know, people say, how do you get across your words so good? It's power talking. You know, it's not using really, really hard words. It's how you come across and you speak to people. So leaders power talk. You know, so be the one that sets the pace and the focus and the energy. So Danny's really, really good at this, and Stacey's really good at this, and everybody's really good at this. You know, we set the pace and we set the energy. So within our big team, we've got a really high-end energy. You know, we really, really work on that. We're fantastic. So talk about the plans, talk about the future, talk about what you love about Arbonne. You know, we all want to talk about all the good things within Arbonne, and spend 15% of your time on the problem, but 85% on the solution. So focus on 15% of the problem and 85% of the solution. So for me, this would be focusing on the activity. So if you get a no, who's next? Who's next? Right, next, all the time. So don't take it as a no, not for now. And like Stacey said, you know, you can go back to them in 60 to 90 days and just go, you know, go on from there. So I've got a question for you all. What transforms a stranger to a friend, then a friend to a one-to-one, and a follow-up into a yes? It's a question. Questions. Leaders ask questions. So, you know, like Stacey was saying before, you know, you go out there and you talk to people, you ask questions about their day, ask them about their job. What do they like about their job? You know, have they been working there long? You know, what do they want out of life? You know, ask these questions about what people want out of life. Do they want more time? Do they want more money? Do they want more freedom? We all want time, money, and freedom. So just ask the questions. So leaders are really good at asking questions. So whenever we go out there in public, just ask questions of people, you know, compliment people, start the conversation off like that. Sorry, I missed a slide here. So obviously the communication side of it. So ask the questions That it's a skill. Basically, asking questions is a skill. Some people might not always have that skill of asking questions and having that confidence to go out there. You know, this will build up over time. You know, for me in my business, I worked in my cold market relatively quick. You know, I don't mind talking to people. It doesn't bother me. I go out there and I just make connections. I talk to people wherever I go. So my fourth point is, do all things with love. Why not? One chance. There's one life. You know, this is not a rehearsal. We just got to be the best we can. You know, within our life, within our business. So do everything with love and gratitude. So your heart gives you the power to take action. So your heart gives you the power to take action. It's your biggest energy center. So listen to your heart and love what you can do, and then keep your heart open with your business. So when you look at people's Arbonne businesses, you can see that they do it through love. They really, really do. You know, it's from the heart. And like Stacey was saying, we do this to help out others. We want to do more, to have more. We want to help people, you know, in life, to create that legacy for their children, everything like that. So, you know, for me, when I first started doing Arbonne, I was really, really nervous about talking, you know, on these Zoom calls or even public speaking. I got really, really nervous. But now I do it through love and gratitude that Danni asked me to do this area training. So as much as it is nerve-wracking, and it is at times, don't get me wrong, people have different stages of where they are in their business, but do everything with love, because there'll be a time when some MVP asks you to do a call for their team, you know, and that's love. You know, people are going to see that. So don't shut the door if you don't make a promotion. So, or if a friend says no or upsets you, this is just protection, you know, for your heart, you know, to heal the pain. So don't blame Arbonne if you don't make that promotion or your upline. So don't blame your team. So they didn't shut the door on you, you know, that they carried on going regardless. So if people do basically leave your team, don't worry about it. You know, people do move on. People come into the business. So you've heard it before, when people come into the business and they leave, but they've sponsored other people into the team. You know, they've created other people that have come in who are future MVPs. So, you know, don't let people walk away from your business, because it could make or break their, you know, their lives. So as well, I'd like to say, forgive and believe yourself again. Then you can leave with a passion. You know, it's, if you're hurting inside, you know, as much as we are at times, you know, we need to heal ourselves and have that passion, because we've all got that passion for Arbonne. We certainly have. We have our downs, we have our, you know, our lows, and we have our highs. It's very much like a roller coaster ride, you know, but we've always got that passion there. You know, we've always got people here to talk to. It's really, really good. And that's what I really, really love about this Arbonne, you know, business. We've built up some amazing relationships with people outside of Arbonne, you know, as friends, you know, genuine friends. And that's what I really, really love. And then number 5, be helpful. So we have 2 hands. So your first hand, your right hand, is your hand to help yourself. You know, with this business, we help ourselves. And the second hand is to help others. So your first hands are basically like leaders who are willing to work. So they take the effort and they do whatever it takes. So leaders do whatever it takes to become more in this business. And that, like Stacey says, you know, you don't, I can't remember what she said. There's something about, you know, you don't want to be in bed, you know, you want to get up, you want to do the early mornings, you want to read, you want to develop yourself, you work harder on yourself, you know, than your business at the start. So, you know, you're taking responsibility for your life, you know, to have your dreams that you want out of life. And then your second hand is basically to help others. So we build leaders basically and present them, you know, with the DAs, and we help people with the DAs to help them practice with that. And we can make people stand up and become more and have more confidence. So we encourage them to step up and take their ownership and give them trainings like tonight. So Stacey was saying that she's really, really nervous, but this is really good for Danni to say to Stacey, look, come on, we're a team, you know, we can do this. We're stepping up, you know, we're helping others, you know, to become more and have more. So we say in Arbonne, to be the best consultant on your team, teamwork is essential in Arbonne. So doing more doesn't make you the best person, but doing your best makes you epic. So, you know, that really, really does resonate with me. So, you know, you could work so many hours on this business, but, you know, you just do your best regardless of how much it is or how little, you know, but doing your best makes you epic. And and that really does mean to me, you know, the world. It really, really does. You know, little things make the biggest things for me. They really, really do. So my last point here is to have inner strength. So basically, inner strength, it doesn't come from what you, inner strength, it doesn't come from what you can do. It comes from what is overcoming your fear that you once thought you couldn't. So when we first started, you know, our Arbonne business, I'm never getting up to talk. I can never do that. I can never, ever do that. I'm not getting up there. No, I'm not doing this. But you know what? You build up that courage and that inner strength within you with your learnings, you know, and we get up there and we do that and we build as a person. So use the power of your inner strength that stands between you and any MVP, because we've all got that platform to become that MVP. We're just not getting paid that one. You know, it's a title at the end of the day. It's a few letters. Yes, you know, it takes a lot of work and hard, you know, effort to get there, but we are all MVP. So don't ever forget that. And I always say to myself, I am an MVP. I'm an MVP. So use your power within yourself to be like that. And even when you're new to Arbonne, you know, like when we're new to Arbonne and Stacey's saying, like in the first 72 hours, you know, we've got our heart racing, we're really, really passionate, we're really excited, you know, we're having all these light bulb moments, you know, and we just want to go out there and vomit Arbonne on everybody. You know, this is what it should be like all the time, though. We've got that power and that passion and that drive to tell people about what we're doing, because we have this massive thing in our body that we just want to share with people. But there's going to be times as well where it's really, really dark. We've got obstacles. This is the time where we need to be really, really working on ourselves prior to this to overcome these dark periods. So, you know, at times it is going to be dark, you know, and when you make mistakes, you think to yourself, oh my gosh, I've just made this mistake. Oh, you know, I need to get over this. So, you know, we have to deal with these discomforts, you know, and it's a part of the process, you know. So if you hate feeling like this, it's going to be good in the end. So don't ever forget that. So there are going to be times where it is hard, but it is going to be good at the end. So I want to kind of finish on from saying as well. So also, don't always call your sponsor. You know, it will seem the easy option at the time, but give it sort of like 5 or 10 minutes and just say to yourself, I'm the best, I'm the best, I'm the best. And, you know, just say it over and over and over until you're actually trying to think about what you want to do, and then have a go at trying to make, you know, that decision for yourself rather than trying to call your upline all the time. You know, this is standing on your 2 feet. So leaders get back up every time. So pain is temporary, but quitting lasts forever. People will doubt you, question you, laugh at you, but you need to stand up strong. And we always stand up strong within Arbonne. There's going to be times where we're a little bit low, but we're always going to get back on our 2 feet. So they say, if you land on your back, all you can do is look up, because that's where you're going. So leaders know their worth and they invest in time with reading, learning skills to be a pro network marketer. So this makes us valuable. This really does make us valuable as people. And like Stacey was saying earlier, we have got this business and this makes us special people because we want to create this life for others. So be the rock in your team that's unshakable, because this is what belief we have within Arbonne. So show up, be you. If you want to be that MVP, you remember that you are the tallest oak in that forest. And just remember that you was just once this tiny little nut that held its ground, right? So now we are basically that massive oak tree. So like I say, going through my little PowerPoints. So your eyes are the power to see the solutions. Your words have the power to build up your team. Your heart has given you the power to give you energy and direction. So feel the truth and build an amazing relationship with your people within your business. Your hands have the power to do the work for yourself and for others and to build leaders. So invest your inner strength to give you power to keep you going on and on until you are on top of the world. And that is my training.
Danny boy, that was truly tremendous. Absolutely on fire, baby.
Thank you. I
Okay.
really, really love that. Thank you.
I loved it as well. I wrote down a couple of things, so I'll just go back through my notes, and you might laugh about this, everybody. So when you said about number one, make a plan, and the balance thing, and you said that you have to be out of balance. Like, being out of balance is normal. And I wrote on the chat, God, I'm so glad you said that, because for the first couple of years of building my Arbonne business, I was chasing balance. I was constantly like, I've got to find balance, I've got to find balance. And actually what I realized was, when I was balanced, I wasn't growing. And the best way that I think about this was, I wrote down like being pregnant. So basically, when you're pregnant, obviously Danni, you won't have a personal experience of this, but you've seen Jen go through it twice. When you're pregnant, your belly grows, and then you find some sort of balance when you stop growing, and then the next day you wake up in the morning and your belly's grown again, and you've got to re-find your balance and your central point, and then you find it, and then your belly grows again. So you're constantly out of balance, but you're out of balance because you're growing, and the only time that you are balanced is when you're temporarily not growing. And that is kind of like how I think about this business. When you are balanced and you feel like everything is in order, that's great, but you're not growing, and you're growing when you're uncomfortable. So I kind of think about that like the pregnancy belly. Does that make sense?
Yeah.
So we all want to be like a fetus that's growing, or like a pregnant woman, because it's good to be growing and be a bit like, oh, I'm so unbalanced, I'm like a wee ball, like wobbling all over the place. Okay, I also wrote down that your second point, I wrote down that people are attracted to people who keep feeding their mind with self-growth. So what I wrote down there was that the reason why people are attracted to ENVPs isn't because they're a nation. They are attracted to them because of the energy that they have, because of their self-growth. Like, you can feel the energy from somebody that has grown a lot in whatever it is that they do. So for us in network marketing, we are attracted to people that have fed their mind endlessly for years on growing themselves. And it's a bit like when Will Smith was an actor back in his day doing the Fresh Prince, no one really cared about Will Smith because he was just a brand new actor on the block, not really anything special. He has done so many films, he has fed his mind so much in terms of acting, because that's his industry, that he's one of the world's best actors now, and people are attracted to him because he has grown so much in that industry, that he is one of the best people in his industry, and that's why people are attracted to that. They can feel the energy of what he has fed himself, and when I say fed himself, I mean like fed his mind. And that's what it's like in network marketing. When people feed their mind and they read every day, you can feel that energy from somebody that is a reader. And then when you compare them to somebody that doesn't read or claims to read personal development books, you can tell, can't you?
Yeah, certainly.
Yeah, you can.
Oh,
That wasn't very convincing. You can.
you can.
And then what else did I write? And then I also, that my last point on that was your last point about the inner strength, about don't always call your sponsor. Now, I always say to my team, I'm here. If you need me, I'm here. And that's great. But sometimes when we're growing our business, it's not always about us. It's about how. So there are things that I would love to do, but then I wouldn't want my team to do. So for example, I can say to all of my team that I sponsor, call me every day and tell me what you've been up to. And do you know what? I probably would be okay with that, but I wouldn't be okay with somebody in my team to say, like Jane, having 40 people that she's sponsored ring her up every single day. I'd be like, Jane, that's too much. Like, you need to work out a better system. So sometimes you've got to think about, okay, I don't mind doing that, but how would I feel if my team had that upon their shoulders? I wouldn't be okay with that. So I definitely agree when you say, don't always call your sponsor for everything. As much as we love to hear from the people that we're coaching, and we do, we need to make sure that whatever is happening in our team is duplicable. And it's not duplicable to have somebody phone you up all of the time asking for an answer. It's okay in the beginning, the first sort of 30 to 60 days, fine, you're in your training period. But after that, think about, okay, can I give this 24 hours and work out the answer myself? Can I find it on the source? Can I find it on the WhatsApp? Can it wait till my weekly team call? If it can't, fine, but ask yourself those questions first, because whatever you do needs to duplicate. So if you're ringing your sponsor every single day asking for answers, that's what's going to duplicate in your team. You want to set the standard of what's going to duplicate. Is that kind of what you were saying?
Yeah, basically, yeah. So don't always, like you say, go to your upline, trying to work things out for yourself, because that's how you're going to grow as a person to learn where to find things and research for yourself.
Yeah, great. Did anyone want to say anything about Danny's training, which was bloody brilliant?
I just thought it was really good, and I loved the last points. A lot of it about the inner strength and stuff like that. Some of the stuff I was so engrossed I couldn't write it down. And yeah, but I was just like, I feel like saying to you, can you do that last bit again?
You can watch the recording.
It was really good. Yeah, exactly. So that's a good thing. Thank you, Danny.
Oh, you're more than welcome. All of you are more than welcome. It's really good to train though, because you learn so much more when you do a training, you know. And I felt that with doing trainings now, I'm more passionate about doing my trainings. Not that I've never been passionate, but I've got more of a belief in that.
It's because your pregnancy belly's growing.
Or it might be too much barbecue food.
Right, thank you so much for that, Danny. So I'm just going to share my screen. Right, and we've got our last trainer of the evening who asked to be last because she loves to talk, and God, does she love to talk. And I first met Claire, again, online early on in the year, and it's interesting because what Danny just said about the questions, he said people start off as a stranger, and then they move on to being a friend, and then they move on to being a one-to-one, and then they move on to being a follow-up. That is basically what happened with me and Claire. We were complete strangers. We met online through a breastfeeding support group and just connected. Nothing to do with Arbonne, we just connected. Questions were asked. I was asking her what she does. She was asking me what I did. I specifically remember Claire asking me on Valentine's Day why I had the ability to spend it with my husband. I was like, oh, let me tell you about my little business. She was like, okay. So I told her about my little business on the side. And more questions led on to a one-to-one. So we met, we did a one-to-one. And then more questions led on to a follow-up. And now here she is, superstar that was a stranger. That's now one of my best friends. And it is so true. Those questions do lead on to those things. And Claire, I absolutely adore Claire. She's always got a bombshell. Last month it was she's been on Notting Hill. The month before it was that she's a police officer. So I don't know what she's going to say tonight. She's always got something that shocks me to my very bones. I love her to death. So please welcome Claire Rousel-Smith.
My anaconda don't want none unless you got buns, honey.
Danny Cowan.
Are you expecting a bombshell for me to give you something else today as well?
I have to prepare myself. I never know what you're going to come out with.
Okay, I have got one thing actually I can tell you. I'm in adult panto in January. Woo!
Woo!
Woo! And I'm going to be playing a Kardashian sister. It's like a version of the Ugly Sisters for Cinderella.
Yay!
I'm probably going to have a big fake bottom.
What was that?
I'm probably going to have like a big fake bottom in it.
We're going to have a team day out and come and see you, aren't we?
Yeah, definitely. Definitely. Don't record it. It's not suitable to put on the internet. Just saying.
Is anything that you do suitable to put on the internet?
Yeah, this is suitable. I'm not going to swear or anything today. Okay, I'm going to try and do my screen share, but last time I did this, it went a little bit funny. So hopefully, where do I do it? I can't even see it. Ah, share screen. That one will do. Okay. Share screen. Come on. Share screen. Tell me when you can see my screen.
Yeah, we can see it.
Great. Right, we just have to try and find where my thing is then. Oh my gosh, where is it? Hang on. For some reason, whenever I screen share, it loses my other menu.
Yeah? I've literally just been in the freezer. It won't have been open that long.
Oh, hang on. Who's been in the freezer?
Sorry, it was me.
Laura left the freezer open.
Who is that? I can't even see.
Okay, I'm going to put my
Who was
PowerPoint.
it? Who was it?
I don't know. Okay. Screen share. Let's try again. Screen share.
I hope the freezer's okay. Oh, Laura.
Can you see it?
Yay!
We're there. We're there. Okay. Okay.
Okay, now some serious training.
We're here. Okay. It kind of is going to be serious. It kind of isn't, but it's quite. We kind of going to go a little bit deep. A bit deep.
See, this is what I mean about Claire's training. This is why she has to go near 9 o'clock after the watershed.
Yeah, because I ramble. So.
No, that wasn't what I was referring to.
Oh, I was. I've got a massive interest in psychology. I had to do a little bit of psychology to do with my last job. So I've grabbed this from a psychologist who I've got a massive interest in. So some people might have heard of him and some people might not have done. And it's really kind of skimming the surface. So hopefully you will kind of all understand it. Here goes, guys, here goes. So how you talk to yourself is a very kind of a rough outline of what I'm going to talk to you today. So this is taken from training and beliefs by an American psychologist called Marshall Rosenberg. He's like a founder of conflict resolution, that sort of thing. He's a really interesting guy. He's written tons and tons of books about how kind of really we're getting conflict wrong and our solutions to conflict wrong, really. So he says that we actually find it much easier to talk positively to another person than we do ourselves. I know I'm like that. Can talk positively about loads of different people, and everyone else that have done their training today have been absolutely brilliant. But behind the scenes and before I started talking, I was like, oh my gosh, mine's not going to be as good as theirs. Oh my God, I'm going to suck. So I do this too. And part of the reason why I wanted to do this training is because it's something that I need to do and I need to learn. So it's going to help me learn, hopefully, as well as some of you lot. I want you, everyone on the call, to think of a mistake that you wish you hadn't made. It can be any mistake, and I'm not going to ask you what that mistake is. So any mistake that you've made in your whole entire life, it can be a tiny mistake. So I know you made yourself a bowl of cereal and you totally forgot to put the milk on, or you put water on it instead or something, right? It's a silly mistake, or it could be a massive mistake that you've made. So just take a moment to think about that. Okay, now I want you to write down or think about what you told yourself when you made that mistake. And try not to think about one where you've maybe told yourself the right thing. So maybe before you started doing all your self-development with Arbonne, what did you tell yourself when you made the mistake? What have you been telling yourself throughout most of your life when you've made a mistake? Okay, so I want a volunteer or a couple of volunteers to unmute yourself and tell me what you've told yourself before. Stacey.
So my mistake was not taking Thomas out of school when, looking back, he needed it the most. And I told myself that I wasn't good enough. I couldn't do it. I couldn't home educate him. There's no way I could do it. I felt like I was doing the right thing at the time by leaving him in school. And I just constantly was beating myself up over it.
Yeah. See, that's what most people think. Most people know in their heart what they should be doing, but they talk themselves out of it.
Yeah,
they think, some food. I'm not good enough to do this, you know. And if actually we were telling another person that would be really bad. See, if I turned around to Stacey and I said, Stacey, you're not good enough to take your child out of school and homeschool him, everyone would be going, why are you telling Stacey that? That's awful. But you get away with saying that to yourself every single day, which is awful. So, but luckily, Stacey is hopefully not saying that sort of thing to herself now. Has anyone got another one? Who's unmuted? Danny.
I think Hayley was gonna. Can you speak, Hayley?
Oh, Hayley. I can't. Hayley?
Hang on, let me.
Yeah. Wait, hang on. I'm coming.
Go on, Hayley.
Can you hear me?
Yeah.
Oh, sorry. Hang on. I've plugged my earphones in and now I've took them out and I can't hear anybody. No, I was just going to say that you basically just tell yourself that you're stupid and worthless and what have you.
Yeah, exactly. I mean, we do it every single day. I am so guilty of that. It's unbelievable. Okay, one of my things, so thanks Hayley, thanks Stacey. One of my things that I've got to try and get over is my absolutely insane fear about approaching my cold market and strangers and even my friends. I keep talking to myself and I go, oh, I don't like it. I can't do it. It's going to come across wrong. They're going to judge me. They're going to think that I'm selfish and I just want money out of them all the time. And I talk myself out of it again and again and again and again. Ugh. It's so frustrating. I am my own worst enemy, and a lot of people are. Yeah, it's and we've got this fear of a lot of things that so we talk ourselves out of things. And really, there's no need to be so fearful, because even if we go out and do those things, we don't usually die as a result that we've got confidence. We're still alive, even though we've spoken to cold market, or like Stacey did, she took her child out of school and homeschooled him, and things worked out, I think, really, really well for Stacey and Hayley as well. So, yeah, and like... yeah, I'm going to give you an example of a why question, because we always ask ourselves, usually when we've made a mistake, why did I do it? Why did I do that? Why can't I be better? Why can't I say things in a more distinct way? Why can't I be more enthusiastic? Why can't I talk to people? So I call it a negative why. So a negative why will not really give you answers, but we can learn from this. It will highlight something that you think is wrong. Okay, so I'm going to give you a bit of an example here. Bear with. So these are my props.
Do you need to stop screen sharing so we can see?
Oh, can you see me?
It's only in
We
a
can.
box.
Okay, we will. So let me stop share just for a minute. Can you see me on the main screen, everyone, with my toys? Great, excellent. Okay, so this is my little boy. We're calling him a boy. I've got to do with toys because, you know, they're in bed and they probably wouldn't do it anyway. So imagine this is like a little boy, like a 9-year-old boy or something, okay? We'll call him Toby, our little boy, okay? So Toby is out in the school hall. He's not actually in class at the moment, okay? Our crocodile. This is a teacher. He's got caught in the school hall and not in class by the teacher. So what happens with the teacher is the teacher says, why are you in the hall? And the boy doesn't answer because actually he knows better than to answer a question like that. Okay. And this is a crocodile. So crocodiles will always ask you a question with a smile. Why are you in the hall? We've all had it before from someone as well. Okay. He doesn't answer. So the crocodile asks again, I asked you a question, boy, with a smile. Why are you in the hall? Okay. This is what we do inside our unconscious mind all the time. We ask ourselves all of these questions. And this is like a negative question, a negative why. Okay. So the way the crocodile is asking our little Toby this question they don't really want a proper answer. They have already like sought blame. So they have already, they're like seeking a punishment already. They think he's done wrong. They don't really want an answer to the question. They think they've just caught him outside of the classroom. So if we swap our little crocodile for another non-threatening type of a teacher, here we go, a rabbit. So these sort of animals, they never ask why questions, as they're like a poor version of a what question. Okay, bear with me a second. I've got my notes at the side here as well. They're so scrawly. So the non-threatening animal, I mean, this does take a little bit of practice to get your head around this and get used to asking a question like this, because it is a lot more long-winded. But this little teacher won't ask a question that's accusing, really. So this animal will instead say to our little Toby, look, I'm frustrated that you're out in the hall without one of your teachers. And I have a need for order. I'd like you to recognise the need for order in school. And can you tell me if your teacher knows that you're out of class? And then, obviously, Toby would then answer. He's a good boy. His teacher knew already. Thank you, Toby. Thank you, Teacher Rabbit. So it's all about your language, really, with yourself. You have to keep it quite positive. Let me share my screen again. So we'll go back to that. Okay. Oh, we start from the beginning again. Right. Ah, here we go. Okay. So I think this is my next screen. So it does take time to change your thinking, but know that each mistake is not that, but it is a lesson. Okay. So you're going to change your thinking from a negative why to a what question every time you make a mistake. So next time you make a mistake, try to think of it in more of a positive light, in something that you can, so you can learn from it. So, for instance, when you've done a mistake, a great thing to think about, it does take time to reset your mind to think this way, is I want to learn from this and I want to do better next time. How can I do that? And please know that anything you do is never really wrong. Making a mistake is a really good way to learn. Just try not to blame yourself, okay? So our crocodile, I don't know if anyone can still see me, our crocodile, so crocodiles, don't be a crocodile. They try to be perfect. Try to be a rabbit, because rabbits try to be less stupid to themselves and other people. The psychologist that does this, he does it with a wolf instead of a crocodile and a giraffe instead of a rabbit. But I didn't have them. So I had to use the materials I had already. Okay.
Claire, do you know
Yeah.
if there are any YouTube clips of this?
There will be. I can find some and I can share some on the Do More page if you want after this.
Yeah,
He's a really interesting person, and he's done loads and loads of books. He's done some on like parenting and things like that as well, which I'm going to order, because he does lots of things about conflict, and the amount of times that I have personally shouted at my children and it hasn't really done anything, it just gets them angry as well, and the whole thing escalates, not in a really bad way, but it kind of teaches your children that maybe, when you get frustrated, you need to shout and be a bit aggressive, and actually that's not cool. So I will be, but I could probably do another training very similar to that at some point, because he's really interesting. Okay, so yeah, where am I? Okay, let's have a look. Okay, so going on to something to do with this, about your lack of feelings of self-worth. So it's your inner voice again. So lots and lots of people struggle with like their inner voice. and they struggle with, there's a question here that lots of people struggle with when they're first asked. So this psychologist, he asked a lot of people that suffered from like lack of feelings of self-worth, what's alive in you now as a result of what's happened in the past. So he asked them, and they found it so difficult to answer. They didn't usually answer the question properly. What they did was they told him about what they were feeling, but they didn't tell him about what they actually wanted or from life at all, which is kind of what he was getting at in the question. So human beings in general tend to concentrate on how they're feeling, and they don't ever deal with the root of the problem. So really, you need to try and separate feelings from your need. Okay, this is quite natural, by the way. Most people's conditioning throughout life has actually created a lot of negative feelings because they don't know how to identify where those feelings come from. So you need to concentrate on your need, and then that it will lead to a resolution, therefore addressing your need and helping your feelings to become positive, if you get what I mean. I did say it was going to be a little bit deep. Okay. So a lot of people have these feelings of self-worth, because they've been educated to think in a certain way that actually creates it. And it's like a never-ending circle of these negativities. Okay. So really what you should ask yourself, instead of focusing on how you feel about something, is what needs of mine are not being met in my life right now. Okay, and this goes with all the mistakes you make as well. And you can put this down to lots of different things. So one thing really that struck with me is parenting. Loads and loads of people beat themselves up over being a parent, which is, being a parent is massively difficult. And I think most people on the call have children, I think. So bringing people into this world, preparing them for the world, is one of the most stressful jobs in the world, really. Rewarding, yes, but stressful. But if we've been educated to think in a moralistic, judgmental way, we can take the job of parenting and turn it into something miserable, because anytime things aren't going well between our children and ourselves, we start thinking, I'm a terrible parent, what's wrong with me, I should know better. And it's a never-ending circle of this sort of thing. So you need to try, and it's all about mindset again. You need to try and change your mindset. Now, these sort of things about being a terrible parent, it might take some, trying to figure out what's actually going on, what need is not being met about being a parent. So, for instance, when I went to my previous job, when I was in my job, I would work quite long hours and I wasn't getting home till 7 o'clock. And I thought, God, I'm an awful parent. I'm getting home and I'm shouting at them and I'm screaming at them to get in bed and I'm so tired. And actually what my need was that wasn't being met was that I felt I wasn't spending enough time with them, and I felt guilty for being at work. And once I addressed that, then actually things became a lot better. So you need to identify, separate the feelings and identify your need. So a lot of people won't answer the question with the need, but will give a diagnosis or a feeling. I'm a failure. I compare myself to my siblings. They've achieved much more than me. See what a terrible failure I am. I'm a terrible parent. I get hurt by what I say. I'm too sensitive. What's wrong? What's wrong? What's wrong? So you do get run over by feelings sometimes. So all of these feelings, all of the judgments are really just a sign that you need to have one of your needs met. You need to look deeper, really. Okay. Okay. So we must learn to recognize these negative thoughts and transfer them into our unmet needs. Then we'll live in a different world. We'll no longer feel unworthy or depressed about certain situations. It's really difficult to do. Really, really difficult. I'm 30 something. I spent 30 something years thinking I'm not good enough, and I'm trying to undo that now, which takes a long time. It takes a long time, I can tell you. But don't be discouraged. Keep going with it, and you will eventually break the cycle. So I'd try and see even the feelings of despair, your feelings of depression, things like that, as a good signal that you need to change something. You need to change your thinking. You need to stop judging yourself. Just be aware of that thinking and be conscious of it, and then you can change it. If you try and ignore it, then you will ignore what your inner self is trying to tell you need to change. Okay, we're nearly at the end. Okay, so also with going back to the mistakes, if you avoid your mistakes, it means you're not trying. Remember that, okay? I have made so many mistakes in this business. Like Danny said earlier, I have vomited arbon on a couple of people and they've gone, oh, and literally backed away. I've then gone to the extreme and not talked to anybody for ages. And really, that wasn't trying, was it? So it doesn't matter. Make those mistakes. Make the mistakes, because then in the end, there will not be a mistake. You'll get to a point where you'll be an expert and you won't be making all of these mistakes anymore. So anything really worth doing is worth doing poorly, because you've got to do it poorly to learn how to do it properly. Okay, so your goal in life is not to be perfect. It's to laugh, it's to cry all your tears, it's to celebrate when you get your needs met, when you feel happy, mourn when we don't, but don't blame yourself. Even when you're mourning when something hasn't happened properly, don't blame yourself. You know, think about what you can change. There's nothing wrong with you. So find out what your needs are, really. In a nutshell, you need to find out what your needs are, set goals, and do your affirmations daily. Because what you're telling yourself inside your brain all of the time is what you actually are. Okay, and you need to tell yourself that you can do these things, you can overcome these things, you can do these goals, because then you will naturally find a way to make them happen. You become what you believe, and you need to keep going, and I need to keep going, and this training is kind of good for me. And just as a sideline to that, okay, I discovered loads of these blocks that I had mentally, loads of these things that I was telling myself, all these negative things that I picked up from childhood. And I discovered it through, I read Miracle Morning, and I went on his website, Hal Elrod's website, and he's got a bit on there that's about, I think it's 30 days, 30-day challenge, I think it's called. And he's got some questions on there about to try and find out what your blocks are, really, what these needs are that aren't getting met. And I did that, and it was an absolute light bulb moment for me. I didn't realize that these probably fleeting comments that people had told me when I was a child I carried them for years and years and years. I'll tell you a tiny bit about it. I will be finished in my training in a minute. I'm an identical twin, and I have been compared ever since I can remember with my twin. I love her dearly. We are best friends, but being constantly compared to somebody else, I have this feeling now that I am not good enough, or someone is always better than me, and that's been a massive block for me. And I'm smashing that block at the moment. Every day I'm trying to smash it, because actually, if you know any twins, remember this, okay? As I am an individual, I am not my sister and she isn't me. We were born at the same time and we are immensely close. And that's each of us. Each of us is an individual. Okay, so keep doing those affirmations. Keep doing it. If you miss one day, start again the next day afresh. You become what you believe. Thank you, everyone.
Absolutely amazing, Claire. Really, really good. Well done. That was absolutely phenomenal. Really, really
Thank
good.
you. Sorry, I do tend to ramble a little bit because I go blah, 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 blah. And I get excited. Let me stop sharing.
It was amazing. Oh, here we go. Oh my gosh, Claire. Oh, you got Toby. Toby's back.
This is Mr. Rabbit.
Claire, that was unbelievable. Do you know what? I wrote down something that sums what you said. When all my life I've had this feeling, and I'll explain what it was in a second. I had this feeling, I didn't know what it was, and I was in search of something that was going to make it better. And I became a mum. I got married. I volunteered, and then I started Arbonne, and I never realised until doing the personal growth that what I was looking for was love. I genuinely was looking for love. What I thought I was looking for was people to like me and people to like tell me I was like great. And I didn't realise that actually I didn't love myself, and I wasn't I didn't accept who I was. So I was searching for it elsewhere, like all my life, like all 30 years of my life, searching for it. And actually doing Arbonne and self-development, I was like, I'm looking for love. I'm in search of love because I don't love myself. And the books, so over the past 2.5 years, the books that I've read have really, really helped with that. And something that came to light for me, so I'm 30 years old, something that only came to light to me from doing the personal growth was what you said, Claire, about something that's alive in you now is a result of what happened in the past. Now, I didn't realise until it hit me like lightning that when I was younger, I used to say things like you do as a child, and I used to get told that I'd said something wrong, and then I used to get told, and I used to say, oh, I thought that's what it was. Like I'd say something, like I'd say, oh, Claire, your birthday's in February, and you'd be like, no, it's not, and I'd be like, oh, sorry, I thought it was in February, because I would have thought that, and then you would say, this is what I used to get told to me. Well, if you don't know, don't say it. Don't just think. Like, you actually have to know. And I was constantly told, don't just think. Like, you have to know before you say something. And that was told to me so many times that in the end, I didn't trust my own intuition because I was so scared, because I was told so much not to just think. I had to know. And if I didn't know, don't say it. And it only hit me from doing Arbonne. And I've had to work really hard to rewire that program in my brain for the past 30 years. That program has been there, that if I don't know, then don't say anything. Don't trust your intuition. And I've worked on it so hard that now I do. What my gut tells me, I do it. If I make a mistake, so what? Like, so bloody what? No one's going to die. It's going to be okay. It doesn't matter. But I've had to work. Stacey's like, woo! I've had to work for 2.5 years on unwinding that program in my head.
Yeah, I definitely, each one of you, if you have not done it already, find what your block is, find what your needs are that aren't getting met. Because, you know, I'm still an IC at the moment because I've had all these blocks, and it's taken me a long time to even identify them, really. And I'm still working on them. And I know that my journey is probably going to be much longer than some people, but that doesn't really matter for me, because what I've got out of, you know, I might not be getting a massive income from Arbonne at all, and there's only me. I haven't got a team at the moment. But what I have got out of Arbonne and joining it already is absolutely humongous. It is massive. If I hadn't have joined Arbonne, I would still be doing that negative self-talk now. I do still do it, and I still go, oh my God, I'm so scared. I can't do this. But I know about it now. You can do something about it if you know it. And so I definitely recommend just keep on doing the self-development. I mean, it's amazing. I'm going to do this for the rest of my life. The day I die, I'm still going to be doing it. I'm going to be in my hospital bed, sort of, you know, going, make sure you bury me in pink. Reading my book. Make sure you put my Arbonne makeup on.
Yeah, great. I can really sort of, like, you know, agree with what you just said there, you know, with the self-development. You know, we've got an amazing business, and the self-development, like you said, you know, it is so important to do with this business, and it really does make that change, and it really does make you into a better person. And I really do believe that, because now for me doing self-development, you can really see people who don't do self-development, not just in the business, but people in the daily lives that you go amongst, and you think, was I really like that? And it's so true, because you look back and you think, oh my gosh, I was a drifter and I drifted for so long. Why didn't I know about this?
And a victim.
Yeah. So do you know what? Arbonne itself is an awesome vehicle, regardless of the business. On to the side, the self-development as well is just absolutely phenomenal. I absolutely love it. Self-development is key, and for new people starting self-development, it's life-changing. Like you say, Danni, it is life-changing. We get a lot more from this business. We do get our wrinkles, they do go, they diminish. And you got neck cream and awesome makeup and primer, what I'm saying? Even the guys can do this. You know what I'm saying? Self-development is absolutely massive for me now, and for Jen. And I've just put my alarm on my phone for 4:30 to get up to get reading, and that's what you've got to do. If you want to be the leader, you've got to be there. You've got to do it. Absolutely. Anyway, I can talk a bit too much like Claire, but it's all good. It's all good.
I wanted to add something else about, when you said about the kids, and not just the kids, anybody, but you said about, instead of saying why, say what, and it made me think about, Farah's been learning her spelling, so she's 6, Farah's been learning her spellings at the minute, and like all kids, obviously it's a learning thing, they don't just know how to spell, it's a learning thing, and I'm sat there watching her really struggle with some spellings, and I'm thinking to myself, I could say to her, why did you spell that wrong? Why did you spell that wrong? Or I could say to her, okay, what more shall we do to help you learn this? And it's the same. You can say either or to the same issue, but it's how you address it. And Claire, you just really emphasised the fact that everything that you just said isn't just related to our Arbonne business. It's related to us as spouses, as parents, as children, as whatever we are in our life. And everything you just said really cemented how I'm trying to be as a person. It was fabulous.
Yeah, I think what is much better question sometimes, especially if you're feeling frustrated about something or something someone else is doing, the kids and their homework. Like, for instance, I've got one of my children is a massive fussy eater. I call him my carbitarian because he doesn't hardly eat anything else. Oh my God, I just snorted, right? And I keep going, why do you do this? Why do you not eat it? Why won't you eat it? And instead, I've started to say things like, what will you try? Or what will make you feel happier? Because he has a lot of meltdowns and things. And we can apply that in everything. So, we can apply that in our Arbonne business. So, for instance, with prospects, we can ask, if they're not sure about a product, you can ask them, well, what more do you want to know, or what would help you to understand, or just a little bit more questions.
Are you saying that we should say that rather than, why don't you want to be a part of my business?
Why won't you try the products? Why didn't you tell me the truth that you didn't try them? I think my internet keeps freezing, so I'm sorry if I freeze on a weird bit.
Did anyone else want to add anything else to tonight's training?
I think everybody said it really, but again, just agreeing with Claire and what Danni said. Like Claire, I've been on a long journey, as you know, and it's still ongoing. And you do, and a bit like what Sarah Law was saying last night, whoever caught that call, you feel like you're stuck, but you're not actually stuck. It's, you can move. It's just down to you and your mindset. And, everybody knows what a journey I've been on with the personal development, and still ongoing. It's just phenomenal. And like Danni said, even if Arbonne suddenly vanished off the face of the earth, I just would not stop doing personal development now, because it's just, I'm absolutely loving the meditation. I've never done it before. And I'm just like, whoa, it's just feels so good. It's like, Just so chilled out. Can I just say really quickly while we're still on, a big shout out to Ruth, because she's not very well tonight and she's been on the call all night, bless her, and I know she's poorly. So hope you feel better soon, Ruth.
We'll do a song for Ruth. This is for Ruth. Everyone get your dancing on. Ruth! Ruth!
Mr. Worldwide to infinity. You know the
Give me an O! Give me a U! Give me a T! Give me a
drinks, take shots until we roll out. Like a remote fast.
I hope Ruth actually saw that.
Well, she probably did, but she's hurt her back, so she wouldn't have been dancing.
Come on, Ruth!
Ruth, you can do some like little finger movements, finger dancing.
Where's Toby?
Oh yeah.
I saw I came and conquered, or should I say I saw I conquered, I came.
Oh, Ruth is taking marijuana, she said in the chat.
Hey, we don't take drugs. We don't take drugs on this call. Shh. We'll get Bess after us.
Yeah, we are still recording, aren't we?
So if you're watching the recording, she's not taking any illegal drugs.
I'm surprised Best have just not cast off our team completely and just said, scrap them, get them out quick.
Oh, weather. I've just got Bess on the line. Sorry. Yeah, I'm really, really sorry for tonight. It was Danny's fault, and she told us to bring all that alcohol into AAC. I mean, she shouldn't. Well, bye. We're supposed to be
Sorry, guys.
We're supposed to be professional on this call, so we just keep it, purely to business.
Right, did anyone want to add anything else about tonight's area training? CJ, did you want to add anything, or are you on marijuana?
Tramadol. She's on tramadol. It's a prescription drug. She's fine. Danny.
I can't believe Stacey said that in the beginning.
To be honest, I'm not even going to get into that conversation. Let's leave it to off the recording.
Oh, right. Anything else anyone wants to add to sum up?
I just love you all. Thank you very much.
Ah, lots of love. Right. Oh, look at all the hearts. Okay, so we'll end with a song.
Oh, take a picture of us doing the hearts.
Okay.
Or the love team training
Who's taking
picture.
the picture?
No, you do it.
Okay, go on then.
Look, and then you can put it all over the Facebook page. Love it.
Ah.
We're still recording.
Let me find a different song. Hang on.
I was supposed to go to bed now, really.
I'm gonna show you what's really crazy. You should know better. Let you mess with me. Little baby. It's cat and mouse game always starts the same. First one you can plate and somehow you go astray. You went from nothing to something. Like in a movie.
Right, I'm gonna have to end this call now. Even CJ's throwing some shapes.
Thank you so much for the call tonight, ladies. You are all absolutely on fire.
Great training, everybody.
Thank you so much again. Have a great sleep, and I'll see you in the morning. Have a thought. Take care.
Crocodile.